This documentary was produced as part of the Power and Voices project by the Network for Women's Rights in Ghana with the support of Third World Network Africa.
When you look at the value chain, women fall at the lowest level.
You can see that they don't have the black salt again, so they can work.
You will write your applications and then they will put them on their desks, but they will not call you for any interview.
Once at a large, there is no job in the town, like there's nothing.
The presence of women distracts the goals.
Some of them would even promise you the job, have sex with you and tell you you are not trustworthy.
Women in the sector have specific rights that can be pushed in the sense of when legislations and regulations are being passed.
The time is right for us to be putting a better spotlight on women within the extractive sector.
Ghana's extractive sector has been one of the major drivers of growth for decades. Mining, particularly gold, is a dominant extractive activity, but oil, gas, quarrying, forestry and other less recognized minerals like salt have seen significant extractive sector activities contributing to Ghana's economic growth as well. Yet, while Ghana's extractive sector offers prospects for economic and social transformation, these prospects have not materialized for the communities directly engaged in the sector and especially women.
For Netright, we are hoping that this documentary would showcase what women miners, salt and gold miners, small-scale artisanal and small-scale female miners are going through, and policymakers will see this documentary and use it to influence policies that will benefit women miners.
We believe that one, gender issues are critical in the extractive sector. When you think about how much the extractive sector contributes to our economy, to the numbers of people who are employed or whose livelihoods depend on the sector, it is something that is critical.
And you agree that when you look at the value chain, women fall at the lowest level. So they are into when you take gold for instance, they are into the use of chemicals and how that affects their health.
The time is right for us to be putting a better spotlight on women within the extractive sector. It's never late, it's never too early. The time is just right now.
It is estimated that in Ghana, the artisanal and small-scale mining industry supports approximately 4.5 million people and provides employment opportunities for approximately 1 million people, with a significant proportion of the workforce being women. It is the voice of the resilient women of Adina, a salt mining community located in Ghana's Volta region. Throughout this community, women play an integral role, bearing the burden of their responsibilities with grace and resilience. They share their stories to better understand their struggles and to witness their unwavering determination despite difficulties.
My name is Ruth Ako Sadapo. I'm a salt miner. The major occupation of this town is salt mining. Though we are fishmongers, but as at now, the fish mongering is very low. We can't get fish, we can't do anything about fishmongering again. So the second occupation is salt mining.
We have two activities in the community that we normally operate on. That is the fishing and then the salt mining. Most of us who are in the fishing activities still mine the salt too.
In this our job, we use black salt. We use the black salt to produce our salt. We get it from the lagoon side as where the Indian man is working over there. But now we can't get the black salt again. Now, if you come to if you come to mine salt, the only thing you can get is very small. It's very, very small. You can get a very small quantity, and that one, if you sell it, you won't do anything with it.
We are to ba yovu yo ba va agblen gare to nyam ala ba na so ma to de shina bakpo ejei bodina nye bi de na free kaka yova ahavo de tapu kan mi gakpo moto tom ayimo ta awe ba tapakata va zuchi achi akumo le kokona nyigba awe ba chi ba kakare fi yo hanami makpo vuvu nyakpa vuvu afia ba haje heka le jimu de kama mi haje heba bo chan ngaka to ko mi haje ngaka to ko mi haje if ya ba nya fu da na mi le jiun da kama na maraja makpo je kotoku o ma wieva ka la fia pa fi jiun da ka makpo maton da magagbo sum na mo da we ba ku ke ba jinya no ma va ta ma bun sugbo.
As an assembly member of Aduna electoral area, the women has reported a whole lot of challenges to me. Some of the challenges that they've reported to me is the climate change, that we cannot even work on it. It's natural.
We are not for any, we are not for any mania, but yemi a duenya domawana. Kake wobashie, a cheer, a chibaba miara, a cha, a miama poja fiacata, tapapipionia, mive for an aka cloto, yama vivela nakpa, lechiama cloto, if you have wova. Ye voma lomba regional akpa. If you get regional akpa, miama jadon ayo vako, jadomaga, a dona mialu. A gamia con review suku amima ku.
The second challenge is about the 7 Seas Salt Limited. That the whites that came from India and they are working at the salt factory over there. They've taken our land, the land that we used to normally mine salt over there. They've taken that land from us. So there's no time, there's no chance for us to for the women to mine salt again.
China ye voma vo a jad na ranigba. Mi kata mi na behana, they be here. A log above woman to woman. Mema. A log or a car nyanto to nyama log above woman dena. I love woman marana nama. I can say a woman baba vasha mi magaja ponga ko a jaram. Na ko jaha, na diragbo, in a yihabe adiha. Amu no amodi I feel dragon. Na aloma fura kada go afina ba kokko de fisha magali sha kura e voma baba sha ko je bo magali a chele ma vali ora nyanya kama yisha mahana bo ma dan alo voma aton mara na ma sha magali sha kura
ama gbon jiju ta nye do mi wona ta gba fi mi ra mi ji na je ibole na ko na de kaka ye voma baba va fia mi maga po je ibo nya kuchi fu flokore ba po na no gbodo na no wu kekeke afi na ba po je viare afi akoflo nwaru le jin de kama e chan jin de kama mi de na jabo koto ko ma ton na kaka fi fi va fi mi ma ga ha ma po mu.
This is what they do. This is what they know how to do. They can't go to the farm. They can't go to anywhere. This is what they know how to do. So you can see that they don't have the black salt again. So they can't work. They can't work. They can't work, and they are suffering. Women are suffering.
Many of the women working in these mines face long days of hard work, with some working up to 12 hours at a time. Women in this sector are primarily employed in low-level, menial-paying jobs and are underpaid. Most of the time, women do not achieve the same levels of decision-making authority as their male counterparts.
A lot more people are engaged with some of these issues. They are not new, but the fact that some of the issues, like the issues going on in Adan, have been brought to the attention of more people, you know, how the challenges of those communities will be expressed even through this documentary that we're doing.
Obuasi is a bustling mining town located in the heart of Ghana. With one of the largest gold mines in Africa, Obuasi has been a beacon of hope and opportunity for many women seeking employment in mining. The brave women of Obuasi and Tinga, also located in the northern part of Ghana, have defied societal norms and taken on the challenge of working in the gold mining industry. With their unwavering determination, these women have become an integral part of the mining workforce, contributing their expertise and skills to the extraction of this precious metal. But their journey is not without challenges. The gold extractive sector, though promising, presents unique obstacles for these women.
Omuko underground ebono na makoto na mapaipai na mayam na mawash na mayi gold no akoton. Pacha me start here 8 years na. Ma wash me we na wie no, me load na wie no. Black na aka no. Ha. Na me de me mercury no egum na mechi. Nti metwi a na afa apeke gold no eno be wo down ti me ya na efri mu a mercury no achi gold na na maso me de ade aso na machi mu nukwasem ni me di me hu gym no aboa me yie matima hwe me mba no sesi a me no kase kura ba ko wotamale ba ko okumase a o mu ko school
first no de na ye kakra by sesei uba na obeto a sample na ebi wo ho a be bresa we amatwi roba be yes phone no na matwi hwe gold ketekete na ma ye afrim
eduma we me ba mu nche sa ba me to me de mame.
The only company I saw in Obuasi here was AGC. That was then. And no mobile and say AGA. But from the last time I checked, AGA no mobile no. Omo fa youth na ejuma, omo tifie. Say enne BBC Obuasi ye indigents no ye ne be face harm. And so omo fa enhoho instead of some be fire omo fa ye ejuma. What compose or move for Jumano? You write your applications and then they will put them on their desks, but they will not call you for any interview. They will only tell you, say, go, we will call you. If you hear our call, you come.
Mining is not the only thing that can give us work, like that is supposed to give us money, but there's no job. Obuasi at a large, there is no job in the town, like there's nothing. So if it's either you go to the Galamsey site, you sell bottle at the street. A lot of people who have better qualifications are in the market selling, not getting anything better for themselves. So you can't tell me being a youth of Obuasi that I should sit home, I shouldn't work with the Galamseyers, be in the house doing nothing.
I'm fine, do man, mema ena eyam. Ba mayo ba mi load egu hono. I was saying me ko check it. Send your more yamono. Ebi wo ha. We na carpet na mi yi ye no bi wo kra onyi. Eba ne sa na load gold na ebi kono e kwa mu diem. Ha nti no e wo se wo kona ko check sa anuama ni nyina. Ba wo kon so a omo yama abo ni bitimi tu na be bo wo etimi bo ba bia ba ye ni ade bia so a ye hye e na dede no so ya so ba ba ne den e wo se wo ko.
Women in ASM are largely driven into the sector by poverty. Due to their limited access to advancement opportunities in the sector, they occupy mostly the low to middle levels of ASM labor pyramids.
It takes a lot of money to get into ASM, and women historically have faced difficulties accessing finance from the banks or from other financial institutions. The other challenge has to do with the fact that the sector itself, the mining sector itself, is male-dominated. We also, as a country, haven't been deliberate in creating the space for women to participate in mining. Once they encounter these challenges, the obvious consequence is that they then decide to stay back.
In response to this documentary, the Minerals Commission of Ghana had this to say after months of trying to attract policymakers' attention.
You know, there are cultural issues when it comes to mining generally, and women going into mining. Sometimes it's believed that the presence of women distracts the gold, and in so many ways, and so they are not welcome there. Mostly when they go there, they are pushed away. They lack the courage to become concession owners, and one of the reasons is that they don't have the funds because mining is expensive and they don't have that means.
But Miss Adabaqua, see, Medjuma Quine say, I have said, Ubu and San, Omo Maquine, say, Brahmanano, and I say, Bayadriane, into me say no, a banner bear 1 week, no, Nami near Juma. Nay, say my chum say me yare.
Being a woman, I could have gotten a lot of chances going close to the pit because some places like Prestia and Bogor, so women are those who carry the waste out. But here we are not allowed to. Those places, they are being paid better because you carrying a sack a day, 15 cedis, 20 cedis for you to carry a sack. If you are able to go like 10 to 15 times a day, you could even imagine the kind of money you are going to get. But here we are not allowed to. We are only stationed here where we sell the sacks and whatever to them, even some the food they eat. Apart from that, we are not allowed to go anywhere close to where they are.
But when you scout media, ma get to phone, no more there, Buana ma, no aquanium. On your ma, they meet me born,
There is no proper structure here. When you are when you are selling here, you have to make a wooden structure for yourself to sell here. And sometimes when the job was booming, we used to sleep here. We work overnight because they used to do 24 hours work. Some will come in the morning by 6 p.m. They had to go for others to also continue from the 6 to the next morning being 6. So if you really want to make money, you have to sleep overnight so that you can sell and make money.
A child of Yana, there may be 80 mirrors, she buy inside a mobile repair. Repuno, a biasipe, ama, mehunda. Naya nigel in a nay, Juma, and no more repair, or one or the face.
Some of the big men in Obuasi here, that's what they do. Giving you a job, they will have to have sex with you, and some of them would even promise you the job, have sex with you and tell you you are not trustworthy, you are not someone who is good enough for the job, after they have what they want to do with you. That's how life has been in Obuasi here. Things are really not going on well at all.
But any member, it's easy. But at times, one casa what being said. Uba sell be juma, and you'll be now wash it. Inti no mimi say no, sir, ebia bema be a bibi a memen share, and no, dear demin namon on a measure.
How dear pa, dear member, no more.
There's nothing like sexual harassment here. I've never witnessed anything like that. I don't know for other ladies. For myself, I've never seen anything.
Baby, I don't know why I did. See, I didn't do ya, and I didn't rubber. I kata so basa, in Suabatonus and from a boy. Rubber no correct me. Into Koshe Diana, this is Odem to Makorakata. Yes, I'll move your man, no moving.
The first time actually I attended the call of nature in the bush was something like I couldn't really stand it, but as time goes on, I'm getting used to it.
I did back what a high man pan say. Aha, I dread any ha. Jana be any ha. Until Obanso, want to say Bema. And yet, baby, and I was a you.
Ye ni so wa ha nti na eba ne sana ya nkasa no ye de ye kobu nsuo ba bebi a wo be kono ono obe hai botoki na wakobu nsuo no e de aba ha bebi a nsuo no wo no so no ewa nti eba ne sa wo kona sa nsuo ni wa load gu wo ntimi nya ho hwe
bebi a meton fuwa meni personal dia me de mafuwa meni na aneda nti I'm sure some men that the betting yes, sister, a jabbeting your tongue. Take a mania, Boafan, Camaya, Patron and Quanda, Namely Patroness.
Women's vulnerability in small-scale mining is a pressing issue that demands attention and action. To address these challenges, it is crucial to implement gender-responsive policies and interventions that promote women's empowerment, access to resources, and protection from violence. Working towards gender equality in the mining sector will improve women's lives and contribute to sustainable and inclusive development.
We have been able to propose to management to give 30% of blocked out areas to women. As a unit, we want to promote the idea of women getting into the mainstream of mining in order to promote responsible mining?
Some of the policy recommendations I will make specifically is to have a look at our mining policy as a country. The policy itself is not gender friendly. So we need to take a second look at it, review it, and then see how best we can make it more gender friendly, especially in the area of making provisions for how women can effectively participate in the mining sector.
If more awareness is made regarding that aspect, that women in the sector have specific rights that can be pushed in the sense of when legislations and regulations are being passed.
As NetRight, because our focus is on promoting women's economic empowerment, some of the things we do is to look at how government policies respond to the needs of women, communities, and vulnerable groups within the extractive sector. And in looking at that, if there is the need to propose alternatives, we do propose alternatives. So in a nutshell, I'll say that what we've done is to try to influence policies surrounding the extractive sector, and also taking women within those communities and taking them through some of the policies within the extractive sector. And also, because we are talking about respecting human rights and promoting sustainable environment and women's economic empowerment, we take them through the policies. We also, for them to interrogate the policies, because if you want to demand your rights and you don't know your rights, how do you demand it? So we also take them through human rights issues and the kind of things that they are able to demand for or advocate for.
A NetRight documentary with support from Third World Network Africa.